Hi guys. So today is day 5. It's been a really weird day. I had to venture out into public today. So it's just kind of been weird. I'm sitting here filing off my nails. Had to take off my acrylics today. So obviously I'm not going to go sit that close to somebody. But first of all, I will say I had someone get upset with me because I wasn't looking directly at the camera last night. And that's because I was working on something. I was working on this. It's a sign for my grandma's birthday. Her birthday is today. I wasn't able to take it to her, and I'll get more into that in a minute. But so today was weird, just weird. We are helping with a neighbor of ours. She, in the middle of all this, was just having her cataract surgery. So she has one eye she can see out of and one eye she can't. She can't drive. So, and her daughter had to work today. So I took off my afternoon to take her to the doctor. And I go in, and I've been keeping super up to date, like what they recommend you do when you do go somewhere. One thing they have not said is that you should ever put on a mask if you're not sick, right? And we've had, like, they were getting on to people for buying masks if they weren't medical personnel because there's now a shortage, right? Some of them are saying they need those masks, which is understandable. And as soon as we walk into the eye doctor, they're like, "Would you like a mask?" And I was like, I'm not sick. And the lady's like, "Oh, we offer them to everyone." I said, wait a minute. I didn't think that you were supposed to have them if you weren't sick. And they were like, no, it's fine. So, fortunately, there was only like 3 people in the whole room, and they got her super in and out really, really fast. And she had to go. And she's can only see out of one eye right now, so the hope is that she can have the surgery on the other eye shortly. I don't know why this is like bent over. Maybe that's better. So, that was just something that kind of had to happen today. But here's what happened next that was crazy. So my grandmother and my mom, if you've been following along, they live right down the road. They live together. And they needed a few things from the grocery store. Our goal when we go out to town is that we can then be home for a while. So I said, yep, I'll go grab what you need today. And then we'll go from there. Well, it wasn't like they needed a ton of stuff, but they needed like a couple packs of meat and a few little things like laundry detergent, and SOS pads. It wasn't like a ton of junk food and Clorox or anything like that. They didn't need toilet paper. But I was like, okay, the doctor's office is over here by Publix. We're just going to slide into Publix and grab these things. Now, this is the first time I've really been out into town since we were told to quarantine. Now, why are we quarantining? It's me and my husband are helping with my grandmother and my mom, and then our elderly neighbor. Because we come into contact with them, and if push comes to shove, they would have to come stay with us. We don't want to ever put them in a position that we could make them sick. So we've stayed out of the public. That's weird. Let's see if this bad boy wants to turn back on. Anyway, and now everything I've read said that they had been restocking the stores at night, And so I'm like, okay, it's like 2 o'clock. It's not going to be that big of a deal. They didn't have a single pack of meat. Like, they had some frozen meat, but they didn't have any, like, legit, let's go home and cook a meal, fresh meat. None. They had none. So, when you go somewhere, and I think this has a lot to do with this whole overbuying thing. When you go somewhere and they don't have anything and you see, like, completely empty shelves, I think that it puts you in this mindset of, oh, well, this is disappearing. And I think that's why so many people are overbuying. Now, you see something disappearing and it worries you and it concerns you and it puts you almost in a different mindset. And I did a video about this the other day. It puts you in this panic mode. Fortunately, I went to a kind of off the beaten path Walmart and was able to get a few packs of stuff. Really just random stuff, you know. My grandmother said I can make a meal out of anything. This one was born in 1938. It's like I can go out in the yard and catch chicken if I need to. My grandmother's that kind of tough. My grandmother's the kind of tough, like, she dealt with an abusive husband before it was publicly accepted to get out of those situations. She dealt with an abusive husband who almost killed her and left him and got a divorce before getting a divorce was socially acceptable. I have a lot of respect for my grandmother in a lot of different ways, but that's probably the biggest one. But let's see. So I go and I find a few packs of meat, and I couldn't even get them any fresh chicken. I had to get, like, the bagged frozen chicken legs. What are they called? Drumettes? Because there just wasn't anything else. And that's kind of shocking to me. Like, it's weird to me to think that it's just not there. And it does. It puts you in that freak out mode where you start to think, oh, well, what if? Right now, what you don't want to be asking is what if. Because I feel like it leads you down a negative road. Because we truly don't know what if. It's had me stressed all day. I won't even lie. It's just had me thinking about, you know, what's going to happen, what's going on. Will life return to normal? And it will. This is just me overthinking things. And I do that all the time. I overthink what I'm doing. I overthink what I think I should be doing. And then I overthink what, you know, my kid is doing or what my husband is doing, what everyone else is doing. Is that a club? The Overthinkers Club? Is that a cool TikTok to make? The Overthinkers? Because that's me. Especially here recently. I don't know what you can do about it. Oh, I also got my lawnmower 60% fixed today. Last year during grass cutting season, which in reality was just a few months ago because we live in Alabama and we have grass almost all year long, my husband was driving the lawnmower and tells me something's wrong with the mower. Okay. I go out there, I look at it, and I'm like, okay, I think this is what we need. I will say, I was raised by a mechanic. When it comes to fixing things, it's figure it out. I'm the one that fixes my car unless it needs to go to a shop. I can fix the lawnmower, I can fix the dryer, I can fix the washer. I was just taught, like, you got to figure it out sometimes. And I teach my daughter the same thing. Don't ever let someone tell you because you're a woman you can't fix something. Like, don't ever depend on someone else. Common sense can walk you through most of it. So, I figured out that it was actually just a really bad belt problem. Had to cut the belt off the mower because it was janked up so bad. And got a new belt ordered. It should be here, I think, on Saturday. Which would be amazing because one thing that I absolutely love to do above most other things is cut grass. On a riding lawnmower. I'll do it on a push, but I'm much better on a riding lawnmower. So, hoping that that comes through. Come on, Amazon. And then I can get the yard looking good. Because right now, it's kind of looking like we homeless or something. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean like it looks like we're not capable of caring for our yard, and that's not the truth. So, and this is kind of the time, like it's time to start preparing for a garden, and I'm completely lost. I always forget like what time of year I should start. But I know I need to get out there and start working on it. I'm thinking some work is going to slow down for me this week. Got a couple offices that I generally work for that are closing up, which is okay. I'm not super stressed out over it. And the last thing I did today was, well, it wasn't last, it's probably the most important. I started our, it's going to be a Bible study that we're probably going to do on Thursdays. It's for the members of the youth group that I normally teach. However, it's completely acceptable if anyone would like to join us. Today we talked about the importance of prayer, and it's actually a lesson that I pulled out of an old teen Bible. It was actually my teen Bible when I was in high school, and was about prayer and how we should go to God with thanksgiving in our heart. A lot of times we forget that. We are so caught up in asking for something, and right now, you know, it's very obvious we all have things we want to ask for, like to get out of our house again, but we forget to be thankful that we have a house, and we forget to be thankful that, you know, we have the ability to quarantine, to get away from this, and to figure out the problems, and we just forget, I think. So we're talking about a series. This whole series is going to be on prayer and how to be a better prayer, you know, how to kind of get away from the memorized prayers that we oftentimes use, like when we're going to have a meal. I'm going to start sanding my cup. We start to have those prayers like when we're going to have a meal or something, and then when it's time to have a true, honest, heartfelt public prayer, we forget. So that's kind of what I was talking about today. We talked about prayer. If you want to watch that, you're welcome to go back and watch the last live video I did. Got a weird spot on my cup. So to the person who said, "Oh, you don't look at the camera." There you go. I'm just joking. Maybe. I'm playing. I think I'm going to finish this up right here and go ahead and hop off of live for tonight. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. That was our day 5. Nothing has really changed in the country, except that the governor of Alabama did say that all restaurants have to close. Any dining options and daycares have to close, which does affect some very good friends of mine. So, we got to keep praying for our country, guys. It's a scary world out there right now. Until next time, guys. Bye. Remember 3 things. Number 1, you are worth the time it takes to change your life. Number 2, your life is worth the time it takes to better yourself. And number 3, know that you are loved. Bye.